The numbers are in. It is definitely much cheaper to live in Paris than the US. And also, what are your numbers looking like in the country and the city where you want to move? Hey girl, hey, are you a Black woman solo traveler? Are you a Black woman who wants to move abroad but you don't really know how or where to get started? Sis, go on ahead and subscribe to this channel. We talk about motivating, uplifting, and inspiring Black women to live the travel lives of our dreams. So I just want to go into a few details real quick. If you saw my last video, I will link it in the description box. It's been a really popular video. You guys really want to find out how much it cost me to move to Paris. So in this video though, we're going to talk about official numbers. So I kind of gave you a breakdown of my cost here and what I'm spending per month in terms of my fixed expenses. And a lot of you mentioned how it is lower than what you thought. So again, these are just my particular expenses, but I wanted to bring you these numbers from Numbeo. Numbeo compiles cost of living increases by country and by city. And I highly suggest y'all, no matter where you're planning on moving, run your numbers so you can talk your ish, okay? Because these numbers are not anything to play with, and Numbeo gives you numbers for living in the city, outside the city, so in the region or whatever region it is that you want to move to. As it relates to Paris, a summary of the cost of living is that a family of 4. Now remember y'all, I'm just me. It's just me, solo dolo. So my costs are going to be lower than this. But for those of you who it's more than just you, a family of 4, the estimated monthly cost for a family of 4 is estimated at 3,900 euro. This does not include rent, okay? Does not include rent. A single person, that would be me, estimated monthly costs are about 1,094 without rent. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So Paris alone is 24% less expensive than New York, again, without rent. And rent in Paris is on average 58.9% lower than New York. So for y'all New Yorkers out there, listen, if you come to Paris, baby, your whole lifestyle is going to change. For most of us in the US, depending again upon where you live, you're able to live a decent lifestyle here for less. And that is one of the things that drew me to Paris and to France overall. So they also compile Numbeo, listen, Numbeo is the numbers game, the numbers guru. They break it down to how much a jug of milk costs, how much a liter of milk, I guess a gallon, right? How much a gallon of milk costs, eggs, cheese, apples, bananas, they break it all the way down. Also transportation costs, they break that down as well. They also talk about utilities, monthly, sports and leisure. They have various categories, clothing and shoes. Let's talk about rent per month. Let's go into some specifics for Paris. Paris, in a 1-bedroom apartment in the city center is about $1,361. That's a little bit higher than I am paying for my apartment. But again, I'm in a studio, I'm in a tourist area. It just really depends on where you are. I would say that $1,300 is probably on the higher end, but that's just me. A 1-bedroom outside of the center is coming in. This is where the cost savings is coming in. It's coming in at 963 euro. That's a $400, almost a $400 savings per month. So really, it just depends on where you want to live. Let's talk about 3 bedrooms. If you are a family, 3 bedrooms in the city center is about 2,987 euro. And a 3-bedroom outside of the city center is about 2,150 euro. So again, depends on your sizing. These numbers, I don't know. For me, these numbers are a bit expensive for a 3 bedroom, but again, 3 bedroom is going to mean a lot of space, okay? And I would say that these numbers for the larger apartments are maybe a little bit higher than what you'll pay in some places in the US. I think it just depends. I know how much my 2 bedroom apartment in Atlanta cost me. I would say for a 3 bedroom, you're probably looking at about, again, depending upon the area, so you're probably looking at about 2,000 or so per month. So it just, again, depends. Atlanta is going to be different than Dallas. Dallas is going to be different than Charlotte. LA is just LA, okay? So it just really depends. But I really want to encourage you guys, for those of you who are looking at moving abroad, it is imperative, baby, run your numbers so you can talk your stuff. Run your numbers before you go. Sites like Numbeo are really good at breaking the cost down. The one thing you don't want to do is to move to nobody's foreign country and then be like amazed by the cost. You want to have it, you want to know how much things are going to cost you. In my last video where I talked about my expenses, I talked about how my fixed costs, which are rent, electricity, phone, and also food, I talked about how that is costing me on average about 2,000 or so a month. Now my numbers include rent, okay? Now there are other expenses I have on top of that, but those are variable costs. Like for example, I'm shopping. I did some shopping the other day. I had a doctor's appointment that was €100, and that was on the higher end. I'm paying more because I'm paying to speak to an English physician. So, my costs can vary per month, but on average, my fixed costs, again, rent, electricity, food, phone, internet, that is around that $2,000 or so range. That is not bad. On average, living in Paris is about, I've heard it's about 40% lower. There was a study that I read recently from Adrienne Leeds in her newsletter. Adrienne is a Parisian real estate agent who works with American clients. She quoted as much as 50%. Costs in Paris are as much as 50% lower than many areas of the US. So as you guys can see, this has been just a life hack for me, a financial life hack for me in terms of moving here. The cost of living here is so low that I'm able to still maintain my apartment in Atlanta. So that lets you know that this would not be possible if, I'm telling you, would not be possible. Some cities in Europe are incredibly expensive. You've got in the UK, you've got London, baby, they pay an arm and 3 legs, okay? Switzerland, I haven't been to Switzerland yet. I plan to go this summer, but Switzerland is on the high end. They are expensive. You do not move to Geneva if you're looking to save money, okay? So some countries are going to be lower than others, but it is important. It is imperative that you run your numbers, that you find out what is realistic. Go on sites like Numbeo, go on other cost comparison sites, and also join these Facebook groups of whatever city you want to move to. They're very helpful because you really get an on-the-ground comparison of what folks are paying on what the average cost is. You're able almost to be your own Numbeo. Now, Numbeo is great because they give you the overall, but you know what you're bringing in. You know what your costs are, probably a good estimate of what your costs are going to be. So I highly encourage y'all, before you make a move, run the numbers to make sure it makes financial sense. We want to make sure that the math is mathing wherever we're planning to go. We do not, you do not want to be surprised. This is one thing, you do not want to be surprised. You want to go into it knowing what your budget is going to be, or having at least a general idea. Okay. All right, you guys, until next time, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go on ahead, hit the thumbs up button, to like the video, and also share it. I'm interested in where you guys want to go. Where are you planning on going? Have you run the numbers in terms of if you're looking to move to a new city or a new country? Have you run the numbers to find out exactly how much your cost of living, what is it going to cost you? Let me know in the comments below. I will talk to you next time.